Tucker?
Well, a Fox News reporter lands in legal trouble just for doing her job. Jana Winter broke the story of the disturbing notebook kept by the alleged Dark Knight shooter, James Holmes. Now Winter is facing possible jail time if she does not reveal her sources.
Joining us now to weigh in on this outrageous story is constitutional attorney David Rivkin. David, thanks for coming on.
Good to be with you.
I find this shocking. I know Jana Winter. I think she's a tremendous reporter, really one of the great shoe leather reporters in New York City. How could this have happened? She's doing what every reporter does. She broke a story, an important story. She's keeping her sources private. Everybody does that. Why is she facing jail time?
Tucker, the problem is that states, not all states, have very robust shield laws that are designed to protect reporters from testifying in such situation, which is of course very important from the First Amendment perspective. New York has what is known as an absolute shield law, meaning a reporter cannot reveal her sources under any circumstances. Colorado, by contrast, has a qualified shield law which basically requires the party moving for disclosure to exhaust the remedies to prove that there's no other way to get the information. And unfortunately, the New York courts concluded that she should be sent to Colorado, and in effect, that the Colorado law applies here. This whole story to me demonstrates that there's a need for a national solution. Of a national media market, we should have a federal law that in fact provides the floor for all states, hopefully along the absolute immunity grounds.
Just to recap, Jana Winter is the reporter who determined and learned through her sources that James Holmes, the alleged shooter, had a notebook filled with disturbing illustrations that seemed threatening that he had sent to his psychiatrist. Why would a judge compel her to reveal her source on that? I mean, is that, you know, public safety? What's the rationale for forcing her to come
Allison,
clean?
you're absolutely right, and it shows you the problem with insufficiently protective shield laws. We clearly have a person who committed this crime, Mr. Holmes, behind bars. What happened is the judge imposed a gag order, and that gag order was violated, presumably, by the source that gave Jana that information. Now, what's happening now is Holmes's lawyers, I would call it a fishing expedition, are trying to figure out which law enforcement official leaked this information because they allege that without knowing that, Mr. Holmes cannot get a fair trial. Now, I don't want to begrudge a fellow lawyer making aggressive arguments, but frankly, it's a very weak argument. So here, on the one hand, we have a First Amendment problem, and over here, we have a situation that really does not require this kind of remedy.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, you're saying the public has this information, that fact irks a judge, and as a result, he wants to put a reporter in prison.
Well, we hope it's not.
That's an I mean, that's an outrage. It's hard to believe that could happen in this country.
It is very unfortunate, Tucker. The hearing is on Wednesday. We hope it's not going to happen. But again, some blame, of course, also lies with Holmes's lawyer. That's the Aurora shooter. Again, their point is that we need to know who leaked this information. Otherwise, he's not going to get a fair trial. I frankly cannot wrap my hands around this argument. But again, the solution is a strong national law would apply in both federal context and state context that would never put any report in that situation.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not Jana Winter's fault. I mean, whether or not he gets a fair trial, that has nothing to do with her job as a reporter, which she did well. Thank you very much, Mr. Rivkin. That was really interesting.
Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
All right, next up, North Korea's dictator continues to talk tough. But is he intimidating our leaders? There's new details this morning. The Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel, is delaying a missile test so it does not provoke the madman.